Hi everyone, welcome to Pilates with Debbie. Let me tell you a little bit about me for those who haven't done one of my practices before. I've been doing Pilates now for the last 15 years plus, in fact. I started Pilates after a premature menopause that I had at the age of 29. I then got the onset of osteopenia, which turned into osteoporosis, and I noticed that my bones and the density that I had was actually depreciating quite severely. I was put onto medication. I then prolapsed a disc, and I decided from there I needed to look at alternatives to try and sort of help my body out. And Pilates was my response. Came into Pilates and I haven't looked back. I'm hoping that for any of you that might have issues, spine issues, arm issues, leg issues, whatever, that Pilates will help you. Or if you're here just to do it as pure exercise, then I do hope you enjoy that too. I use hand weights. Hand weights help with building the muscles in the arm, by building the muscles and by working all our muscles throughout. It promotes our bones to create new cells, because obviously as we get older, our cells die quicker than what they regenerate or rejuvenate their cells. So by promoting them and asking them to rejuvenate and grow their cells, we build our muscles up to do that. So let's take ourselves down to lay, and we're going to start laying first. If you wanted to use hand weights and hadn't got any, by the way, it would be a good idea to maybe have some some bottles of water, not empty, bottles of water filled. Empty ones wouldn't do a lot of good. And also, if you have a block handy, or perhaps a book or something like that, a thick book, these are going to be really useful for when we do our bridge and supporting ourselves. You can support yourselves with your arms, so I will show the options as we go along. So let's take ourselves to laying. You can bring yourself down from your side. If you have low blood pressure, do come down from the left. Otherwise, you can come down from a seated position, feet nicely flat on the floor, legs are hip width apart, not over here. No one's hips are that wide. And we bring ourselves down. Now, as you start to come down, we come down with what we call our C curve. Okay, we don't just drop back. We C-curve our spine down. We're looking after our spine. We're helping it. So we're curving it as we come down. If you get to the point where you can't hold it with your core and you find that you're shaking, or you just want to drop, hold behind your legs and take the support from there. Otherwise, you can come down with your hands from the side all the way to the floor very slowly, bringing yourself down, and we're going to go into a nice full body stretch. If you've still got lower back issues and you don't want to bring your legs long, take your feet mat width apart and lock the knees in together. You can still do your full body stretch from here, but what you're doing is you're going to pull in your core and you're going to push your lower back into the floor as you stretch away. We don't want to arch the back. We want to keep it flat into the floor, and we'll push away from here. Otherwise, we're long down the mat with our legs, pushing ourselves down into the core, holding the core, pushing our spine down from here and stretching our arms and legs away. Point the feet, flex the feet, point the feet and flex the feet and push away, and then just release. Taking your hands down to the side now, palms facing up. Take a huge breath in through your whole lungs, breathing in through the nose and releasing through the mouth. Feel the body relax as you do that. Do it again. Filling every part of your body with that in-breath and letting it out. Fabulous. Okay, let's just gently ease our neck off. So we rock our head from side to side. Very gently, keeping the shoulders on the floor here. We're going to come to centre, and when we reach centre, we're going to take an in-breath and pull in our core. And at the same time, we're going to bring our chin to our chest. Shoulders are stand firmly on the mat. So breathing in, pulling in our core. Breathing out, chin to chest. Holding it there, keeping that core tight. Breathe in again. Pulling that core as tight as you can. Breathing out, hold that core tight. Allowing the head to gently go back down to the floor. When it's reached the floor, just release. Relax, let the core go, let everything go. We're going to take a few moments here just to scan our body. I want you to look inside, look internally, keeping your eyes closed if you can. That would be great. It helps you to focus internally more if you have your eyes closed.
You don't get the distractions as much from what's going on around you. And then you're going to scan your body from the tips of your toes all the way up. You're going to look at any areas that might have tension, any areas that you might need to work on a little bit more today. And then throughout the practice, remember to focus on those areas. So letting the feet drop out and letting the legs go heavy. Let the pelvis and the lower spine and the glutes go heavy into the mat. Let the stomach and the mid-back, the upper back and the chest going heavy. The hands and both arms, let them go, let them relax. Let the shoulders and necks relax. And finally the head. Letting the cheekbones relax, the eye sockets, the forehead. And then from the tips of your toes, work your way up. Scanning your body over your legs, over your knees, your thighs. Looking at the hamstrings and the calves. Are there areas there that you might need to work on? Look at your wrists, your lower arms, the upper arms and your chest. Look at your pelvis. Look at your core and your back. The lower back, the mid-back and the upper back. Do you have areas of tension there? Is there a tightness? And your shoulders and your neck. And then lay still. Just a gentle breath, the rise and the fall from your core. Let's bring some movement into our body now. Wriggle our fingers, wriggle our toes, and then everybody, feet up onto the mat with our knees locked in. Let's take our arms out into a T shape here. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of stretching, a little bit of relaxing into the stretches here. So parting the knees, taking an in-breath, pulling in that core, and on the out-breath, release the legs over to one side, keeping the core tight. And then when you reach that point of tension, feel that's comfortable for you, just release everything again. Relax everything, relax the shoulders, relax your face, relax your legs into this stretch. Got a little tiny spinal twist here that's going on. So we're working the spine while we're relaxing into it. We're asking it to release the tension that it might hold. And then on your next in-breath, pulling in the core. At the same time, bring your legs to centre, reaching the top and breathing out. Let's take that on the opposite side. So big breath in, pulling in the core. Breathing out, keep that core even tighter. Dropping the legs over to the other side now. Reaching your point of tension and relaxing there. Any areas that are tight, breathe into it, ask it to relax. I always feel it on my inner hip here. And then on an in-breath, pulling in the core. At the same time, legs to centre, reaching the centre, breathing out and releasing. Okay, we're going to take our little hug now. This is something that I do throughout my practices. I think it's really good because it opens the lower and the mid-spine, and eventually at the end, towards the end of the class, when we open the whole spine by lifting our head up, but we won't do that until we've worked ourselves up to that point of being able to open everything together. So we're going to take a breath in and pull in the core. We're going to use the core to bring our legs up, okay? If you start to feel it in your lower spine, don't lift from there. pull the legs up, holding the core tight as you do. Okay, so taking a breath in, bringing those legs up, holding around the front of the calves, breathing out, pull that core tight, and bring the legs in. Don't forget, it's always breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth in Pilates. And each time we do it, we pull the core tight. So breathing in, breathing out, core as tight as you can. Feel that opening in the mid and the lower spine. Any tension there, and then release. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves into what we call neutral spine in Pilates. A neutral spine is where we're going to tilt and lower our pelvis. It is quite a small move, but we're going to do it with some breathing. So taking your hands into a triangular shape, take them over the front of your pelvis. Okay, so you've got a nice firm point of where you're going to be moving from. Start just by rocking the pelvis up and down. Feel it very gently as you're coming up, squeezing the glutes and releasing. Now let's try it with the breath. So we're going to breathe in and pull in the core. And as we breathe out, pulling the core tighter, we squeeze the glutes and we lift the pelvis. And then we release. But as we release, we keep the core tight. We don't relax the core, we keep it tight. We breathe in, we pull the core tighter, we breathe out, we squeeze that core, squeezing up the pelvis and holding it up there, and release, keeping the core tight. Breathing in again, tighter with the core. Breathing out, pelvis up, holding it tight, and then release. And you should now be in a nice neutral spine. So the back is lovely and flat along the floor. Some people may have a small arch under here. Some people have a natural curve to their spine. So that's absolutely fine, but we don't want great big bends here. Okay, we want the spine as natural as we can get it. Okay, so we're going to bring one leg up, and we're going to do a straight leg push out and bringing it back up. So bringing it out, let's take it up to the ceiling and bring it down. Pushing it out, take it up to the ceiling and pushing it down. Taking it out, taking it up to the ceiling, holding it there, take it out to the side, feel the hip open there, bring it back in and bring it down to the floor. Let's try that on the other side. So bringing the leg up to what we call tabletop. Let's push the leg out. If you could just only push the legs here, that's fine. If you lower down, you're going to find it in the core even more. And then we're going to bring the leg up and we're going to bring it down. We're going to push it out and push it up and bring it down. Pushing it out, up. And this time holding it there, taking it over to the side, keeping the core tight as you can, bringing it in and releasing it down to the floor. How's that feel for you? Good. Okay, let's just give our little rock here and wake ourselves a little bit there, rolling the spine. Okay, the next thing we're going to start to go into our bridge position. So we've got the legs a little bit warmer. Bring them in a little bit closer now so that the knees are closer to you. If you still feel you're a little bit out of line, you can always go back with your pelvis tilt to get yourself into a nice position. And then we're going to start taking the hands down the side, using your hands for support. You're going to breathe in and pull in the core. And as we did earlier, breathing out, tilting the pelvis up, squeezing the glutes, you continue to push. And you push yourself up all the way to the top and you hold it here for your bridge position. Okay, and then releasing, rolling all the way down the spine, one vertebrae at a time, back to the floor. Now, if you've got your block, take your block, if you've got a block or a book, and we can use it here to do a little bit of relaxing into the lower part of the spine as we're doing our bridge. So we take our bridge here, so do what we did before, hands down for support, taking a breath in, breathing out, keeping the core tight, squeezing the glutes, pushing up all the way, as far as you can go, glutes tight, core tight. You can either hold yourself here with your hands and relax into it there. If you have a block or a book or something, you can take it, you can put it here, you can take it there, and then you can just release down and you can allow the the spine, just relax there. So we're not quite completely on the glutes, we're not on our lower back, we're on the centre there. So we're in between the back and the glutes. And we're just going to rest there for a moment and feel that opening. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Taking away the block, or if you had your hands there for support, take them away. Taking a big deep breath in, keeping that core tight, and roll yourself down one vertebra at a time, all the way to the floor. Now we're going to take the next option. Again, entirely up to you. You don't have to do this. You could stay with the roll up, roll down from there. You can try and take your hands away. Okay. If when you're coming up, you find that your legs are moving and swinging around, take your hands back down for support. So it's taking the hands away if you want to try. Taking a breath in, pulling in that core. Breathing out, tilting the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, holding that core tight, and pushing yourself up very slowly, all the way up to the bridge, onto the shoulders only, not going any higher. Holding it up there, taking an in-breath. And as you breathe out, you lower yourself all the way back down to the floor. So we're going to take it one further. So taking a breath in, breath out, keeping the core tight, squeezing the glutes, pushing yourself up. When you get to the top here, I want you to push up, if you can, onto your toes. Push yourself up, making that bridge a little bit deeper. Breathing in, breathing out, all the way down to the floor. And the last thing to come down are your heels. Now we're going to go up onto our toes. We're going to hold it at the top. We're taking the next step option, the next step up. But again, you go to where your body's happy and how you feel you want to be today. So taking a breath in, breath out, core tight. Push the toes up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, pushing yourself up on the toes all the way to the top. Now the next option here is to take the hands away, take them underneath, squeeze the shoulders under, roll them under and push yourself up here. So you're even into a deeper bridge now, deepest bridge that we can get from this point. Holding it there, taking your hands away, across the tummy or down the side for support, breathing in, breathing out, core tight as you can, squeeze the glutes all the way down to the floor and release. Amazing, how does that feel? Fabulous, I hope. Right, let's take our hug. So we're going to be pulling our core in, lifting the legs up at the same time or pulling them up from behind the back of the calf, the thigh, and then breathing out and release. Breath in, breath out, release. So we're working the spine in different ways. We've done a little spinal twist, we've opened it up this way, we're closing it back the other way. Each time we're doing it, we're asking that spine to open and breathe and asking the vertebrae to let there be life inside that spine. Excellent. Okay, we're going to come round now onto all fours. So you can either come up rolling like a ball, which is bringing up, so you've got your feet together, you can cross them at this point and you start a momentum of a roll. If you don't want to do that, you can bring yourself onto your side, left hand side as I said if you have low blood pressure, and you can push yourself up that way. So entirely up to you. This way we're getting a massage along our spine. So we get a lovely massage here. And then bringing yourself up, taking your feet down and bringing yourself round onto all fours. We're going to do some cat-cow, so we're going to roll the spine here. We're not just going to drop and up like the normal cat-cows do. We're going to work it and we're going to roll it through our spine. So we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to roll round and push up from there. Breathing in here, breathing out, pushing ourselves back and pushing yourself up there. Breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out, breath in, roll, breath out, breath in, breath out. Squeeze that core as you breathe out and then come back to a lovely tabletop position. So we're going to do bring ourselves into downward dog. There are a couple of moves here that are yoga moves that I do, but they are used in Pilates as well because they're good all-round exercises. Pilates and yoga do have quite close similarities in things that they do. I think the breathing is probably one that's quite different. In Pilates, we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In yoga, they tend to breathe in and out through the nose. But lots of the moves we do are very similar. Obviously, they do shavasana and things, which we are also going to do. So, okay, let's take ourselves into downward dog. From here, at the moment, we have our wrists underneath our shoulders and we have our knees underneath our hips. We're going to take our hands out of alignment by taking them just one hand step forward. We're going to curl our toes under at the back. We're going to hold our core tight, breathing in. And as we breathe out, we push. We first initially take our knees off of the floor and then we push up with our legs and push us into our downward dog. From here, we're going to push our chest towards our knees. Okay, that's what we're aiming for. Now, you're going to find that you've got your head lower and your heart, so that it helps the blood pump and circulate around the body. If it's too much on your hands because you're taking a lot of weight into your arms here, you can come down onto your forearms. It's a little bit of a dolphin here, but you could do that, and that's fabulous as well. You're still getting good work, and also you're stretching your back and you're stretching your legs. Then I want you to bend your knees, walking your hands back. You're going to come back, you're going to hang here like a rag doll. It's what we call our rag doll hanging. You can take hold of opposite elbows and just hang there, allowing yourself and your spine to open. Then we're going to release, we're going to take a breath in, and as we breathe out, we're coming up in a Pilates roll up, all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Squeeze those glutes, coming up, all the way up, shoulders, neck and head. Okay, we're going to do a couple of those. That's the classic Pilates roll up, roll down, just to give a nice roll movement, keeping the spine lubricated and active. Okay, when we come down, some people are not going to be able to come down as far as others. That's not an issue, don't worry. You come down to where you can. As we're coming down, I'm going to say breathing in, and we're going to start to breathe out as we come down. Some people, you can't do this with a whole breath. I generally don't. I generally take a couple of breaths in and out as I'm rolling down. So all the time, as you're breathing in, if you get to here and you've got to take a breath, breathe in, but keep the core tight. Don't allow that core to release. And then as you breathe out, you're still keeping the core tight as you come down. Okay, so every in-breath, core tight, every out-breath, core tight. We're holding it as much as we can strengthen this core, it's going to support our spine. So shoulders back and down, standing tall. Okay, head up, taking an in-breath. And as you breathe out, tilt the head down. Just the head. Keeping the core tight, then you start to come down. Shoulders are going to come forward, coming down, taking your hands to the front of your legs. I think this always helps, so that we come down one vertebrae. So the upper back is coming down and the mid back is now on its way. And finally the lower spine
will come down. Some people may only get to here, that's absolutely fine. You're gradually doing it as the more you do Pilates, the more you will start to be able to come down lower and lower. And then you can hang, and then at the bottom you take an in-breath, and as you breathe out, you start to come back up again, one vertebrae at a time. And as I said, if you need to breathe in and out on your way back up, making sure it's in through the nose, pulling in the core, out through the mouth, pulling in the core more. And keeping that core tight, shoulders back and down, neck comes up, and finally the head. Do that one more time in your breath, standing tall, breath in, breath out. Don't forget to keep the glutes squeezed tight as well. Keeping everything as tight as we can. The more we can squeeze our muscles and build them, the better it is.
Shoulders back and down, and stand here. Excellent. We're going to do a little tiny back bend here now. So we're going to take our arms up overhead. You're breathing in, pulling in that core, squeeze the glutes tight, and slightly push those hips forwards, push the hips forward, and allow the back to go a little bit backward. Not too much, just a gentle opening, gentle standing back bend here. Breathing in, breathing out as you come back down. Okay, how's you finding that? Should we do that again? Should we have another little go on the back bend here? So breathing in, keeping the core tight and squeezing the glutes. Taking the arms up, push those hips forward, gently push them forward. You can put your hands on your hips if you don't want them up over your head. You can put them on your hips. You can take the support in your back there, pushing them forward, and you're opening. You're doing a nice little opening here, back bend on the spine, and then we're coming back forward. Excellent. So let's take our roll down now, and we're going to come back down to the mat. So shoulders back and down, head tall, breath in, breathing out, chin down, followed by the neck, and then the shoulders, the upper back, the mid back, the lower back. Hands to the floor, walking yourself out and bringing yourself down onto all fours right here. Okay, we're going to go into plank. So we can do it from full plank. You can do it by having your hands on the floor there. We're going to be doing some tricep press-ups. So it's entirely where you want to be. You get yourself comfortable. We're just going to do a couple of press-ups here, working out triceps. So we're going down, and then we're coming back up. We're bringing our knees down. We're rolling back. We're coming back forward. We're pushing ourselves back up into our plank, and we're doing our push-up here. Okay, if you're on all fours, you'll be doing the same thing. You'll be bringing yourself forward. You're coming to here, you're doing your tricep push-up, and you're pushing yourself back. Okay, let's just do a couple more of those. Breathing out, you come back up. Breathing in, breathing out, into plank. Breathing in, breathing out as you push yourself back up, and coming down onto all fours. Excellent. Let's bring ourselves round onto our sides. We're going to do a little bit of side work here. So we're going to be bringing ourselves up, and we're going to be bringing ourselves down. Now at this point, you can take hold of a hand weight. Okay, it's entirely up to you whether you use hand weights or not. As I said, you can have one leg underneath, and you can do it from there. Okay, you can do it with both legs out, hand weight or no hand weight, bringing yourself back down. So we're just doing 4 on this side. 3. Keeping the core tight, breathing out as you go up. Big breath in, breath out. Last one, breath in, keeping that core tight, breath out. And then coming back down, putting this weight to the floor if you have it, and let's take ourselves around to do the other side. Making sure you've got your elbow underneath your shoulder. And as I said, you can have your knee down, you can have both legs out, you can do it with a hand weight or you can do it without a hand weight. So breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. One more, breath in, keeping the core tight, breath out, and bringing yourself back down to the floor. Okay, coming round onto all 4s. We're going to bring ourselves back up. Okay, so roll yourself back up. It's your Pilates roll up. Shoulders back and down. Fabulous. Okay, so coming to the back of the mat. We're going to take 1 step forward into a lunge with one of the legs. Toes are up at the back. Okay, you can bring yourself up into this position, which would be a warrior 1 in yoga. Okay, you can take your hands down to the side, making sure our core's tight wherever you wish to be. If you're in warrior 1, it's probably going to be a little bit of a easier transition, because we're going to go into warrior 3, which is a balance that we use in Pilates. So we're going to push ourselves up and we're going to bring ourselves out into what is known as warrior 3, balance. You can do it there, you can do it with your arms behind if it's easier for you. Just a balance here. And then bringing your foot back down. Turning yourself around to face me. This is a sort of a warrior 2 really, so you've got your heel in line with the instep of your back foot. The back foot is facing forward. If you had your hands out here, that is a warrior 2 in yoga. Okay, core nice and tight. Entirely up to you. You can have your hands on your hips. You can just feel the opening here in your hip burners. And then we're going to do a side stretch here, bringing yourself over. Try not to bring yourself forward. We're opening here. This is an opening stretch. And we're opening up along our side. And then you bring yourself back. Turn your legs around. So we've got both feet facing forward. We're going to take a forward bend. So we're going to take a breath in. And as you breathe out, bring yourself down to a flat back position. Turn one leg out, walk yourself around that leg and bring your hands down. Okay, so they're just supporting at the side. What we're going to do here is we're going to do a chest opening. So I want you to come up and I want you to take your hands up here. This front leg is straight, back leg is straight, and we're opening. We're giving ourselves the chest open here. Breathe into those lungs, breathe into that chest. Big deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then I just want you to lower yourself down very slowly over that leg, bringing yourself down, getting a hip opening, getting the back open, feeling the stretch down the back of the leg. Those hamstrings now stretching out. And then pushing yourself back up, bringing that foot round, back to your flat back position. Let's walk ourselves round, turning our foot out, hands down, getting ourselves into a nice stable position, and then pushing ourselves up and doing our chest open on the other side. Breathing in now and breathing out. Breathing in
yourself down over that leg all the way down. Feeling the opening, feeling the stretch. You can take your hands away to the back. You can put them on the front of your foot, whatever feels most comfortable for you. You can stay with the support there at the side. And then pushing yourself back up.
Let's take our lunge onto the other side. So pushing yourself back to the other side now. We're going to take the opposite leg forward. So whatever leg you worked on last time, we swap the opposite leg over and we come down into our lunge position. Okay, so as I said, if you want to take your hands up here, that would be a warrior 1 in yoga. From here you can transition into the warrior 3, or you can do as we did before with the hands on the hips or the hands behind you. So you choose the option that you want to do to transition into that warrior 3, pushing yourself up and holding your balance there. See, there we go, that didn't hold me very well. And then bringing yourself back round, bringing yourself round into what would be known as a warrior 2 position. So your heel is in line with your instep, your hips are facing forward and your arms would be out. Okay, you don't have to do that, you can stay with your hands on your hips because we're going for the hip opening here. So wherever you feel comfortable. And then we're going to do our side opening. So hand down onto our thigh at the front there, bringing the opposite arm over and opening. Okay, feel the stretch down the side of the body. So it's a side stretch, it's an opening, we're not coming down, we're opening up. You can look up, you should be able to see the ceiling and not your arm. In breath, out breath. And then bring yourself all the way back up to standing and work those legs. You can either jump them back in or you could step them back in together. Fabulous. Okay, let's give them a little bit of a shake out. So we're going to continue with some side stretching here. So we're going to take our legs into what is sort of known as a triangle, I think. I think they call it triangle in yoga. It's also sort of a triangle, I guess, for us here in Pilates. And we're going to come down and we're going to do our triangle open here. So it's very similar to what we've been doing. We're opening out down our side, but we're bringing our hand down and we want a nice, all the way from those fingers, all the way up, one long line to the other one. So we've got one long line as we're opening. And then bring ourselves back up. Let's swap round, so we're bringing that foot forward, turning the other foot out, bringing our hand down, and we're getting that one long line for our opening here. Amazing, guys. And then release, bringing yourself up. Bringing the legs together, we're going to do what is known as chair. Okay, chair's quite a tough one. I always find this one tough. So you can have your feet together, okay, here. So you've got all right the way together, so your legs are together. Some people prefer to have them hip width apart. You go for what best suits you and how your body's feeling today and how it wants. And then we're just going to sit back as if we're sitting on a chair and we're going to bring our arms up. So the arms are going to be in one long line, all the way from our line, all the way down our spine here. So we don't want them down here. They're up by our ears and we're holding it there and we're sitting our bum back. And we hold it there. It's quite a tough one. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, keeping the core tight. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Last time, breath in, breath out. Bringing the hands down, staying where you are. We're going to try and come up onto our toes. Okay, so we've got our toes up now. See if you can bring your hands back up with your toes in the air, holding it there, breathing in, breathing out, rising up onto the toes, bringing the heels down and coming back down to standing. Fabulous. Give the little shake, give the body a little twist around one way, twist in the other. Excellent. We're going to bring ourselves back down We're going to do some upward stretches again with the spine. So we're going to go into swan, or I think they call it cobra in yoga. And then what else are we going to do here? Right, okay, we're going to then go into some stretching. So at the back of the mat, hands nicely, feet nicely rather, hip width apart, standing tall. Let's take our in breath, out breath. Let's bring down our roll down, Pilates roll down. Keeping the core tight, all the way to the floor. Walking yourself forward, coming down onto your knees and coming down onto your belly. So, oh, excuse me. So we're going to come into cobra from here. Okay, so the shoulders are back and down, your hands are in line with your sort of chest, shoulder area. And then your head, your forehead is nicely on the floor. So you're going to take a breath in. And as you do, you're pulling in that core. Breathing out, you're pulling in the core even more. You're pushing the core and the pelvis into the floor, and you're rolling your head up. Okay, we're not just going to swing up from here like this. We're rolling. We're going to roll through the spine. So head's there, breathing in, pulling that core, breathe out. Squeeze the pelvis into the floor, core tight. Roll the head, roll yourself up and to here. So when you're here, so you know that you haven't pushed yourself up with your arms, take your hands away. Okay, take your hands away, lift them up, so that you know you're supporting yourself, you're doing the back bend, and you're supporting yourself. Breath out, all the way back down to the floor. Do that again, breath in, breath out, rolling. This time you can push yourself a little bit further up. So you are now pushing into your arms, don't feel any pain in your back, and then breathing out, down you come. Do it again, breath in, breath out, rolling, all the way up, and then back down again. And the last time now, you can come up into a full, what they call a full upward dog. So breathing in, breathing out, all the way up, and you come up, lifting the thighs, the front of the legs, you're on the front of your feet now, pushing yourself up, holding it there, squeezing everything tight. Breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out as you roll yourself all the way back down to the floor. And then push yourself back up. Let's come into what's known as child pose. So you can do that with onto your knees from here, sitting yourself up and lowering yourself forward. Or if you prefer, you can take your legs wider, sitting down onto your heels, toes are together, breathing in. And as you breathe out, you bring yourself down to your forward stretch here. Now, don't just relax straight away. Pull away with your arms. Feel the opening across the top of the shoulders here, around the top of your back. Feel the lungs opening. Breathe in, breathe out, and relax. So you can relax here. You can relax with your hands on your shoulders. You can relax with your hands down by your side. Or you can take your hands onto the bottom of your spine. Don't push down on it though, just the natural weight of your arms there. And just relax for a moment, a couple of breaths. Then taking your hands round. If you haven't got your knees together, bring them together. Bringing yourselves up, and then we're going to do a little pigeon pose for stretch. So you're going to bring one leg forward. The way I like to work it is that the heel of my foot will go into my hip joint. So it goes in there, and we just relax at that point. So first of all, we're just here. Okay, hands in the mat, you might have them flat, you might be up on your fingertips, but you're just having a little push, a little stretch here. If you want to, you can come down onto your forearms. And if you're feeling really happy, then you can come down to your forehead and you can relax right over. Breathing in
in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you breathe in through the nose, if you find that there's any points of tension you've got, breathe into those areas. Ask them to relax. And then pushing yourself back up onto all fours, staying on your knee, but taking that leg that you've had bent underneath, just take it behind you, give it a little shake, a little wriggle around, bring it back down, and bring the other leg forward. So we've got the heel of the foot into the hip joint, it's nicely forward, we're not twisted, we're nicely forward. Fingertips, hands, you can come down onto your forearms, you can come down to full pigeon. Breathing in, breathing out. Find those areas of tension if you've got them. Breathe into them, ask them to relax. If there's any pain, you come out of the position, you don't stay there. There's a difference between pain and tension. And then pushing yourself back onto all fours, bringing that one under, taking that leg back, giving it a little shake, and a little workout. And then we're going to bring ourselves down onto our backs for some final stretching and then into relaxation. Savasana, as it's known in yoga. So you can come down, as I said at the beginning of the class, from your side. It will be your left-hand side if you have low blood pressure. Otherwise, with me, we're going to come down one vertebrae at a time, holding it as we do. So feet nicely flat on the floor, hip width apart with our legs, arms out in front, taking a breath in, pulling in the core. And as we breathe out, we start to curve our spine. As I said, it's the C curve that we're going for, and hold it there. Breathing in, breathing out, hold it. Breathing in, breathing out, hold it. Breathing in, breathing out, hold it again. Hold it from that core, take behind your legs if it's too much, breath in, breath out, final hold, breath in, breath out, all the way to the floor. Let's take that full body stretch as we did at the beginning of the practice. You can do it with your knees onto your feet on the floor, knees locked in if that's better for you. You might find now that you've opened the spine, you're happier to take your legs long. Pointing the toes, flexing the feet, and bringing the legs up. We're going to do our side stretch again, so we can do it as we did at the beginning of the class with our legs at this point. You can do it so that you've got one leg over the other, and you can do the side stretch from here. So arms out, taking a breath in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, lowering the legs over, holding the core tight until you reach the point that you can go no further. Look into it, relax, let the core go, and then take your gaze over to your opposite hand and breathe. If you want a further stretch, you can take away the top leg, hold it with the opposite hand and stretching it up. But make sure that the shoulders are both kept on the floor at all times. We don't want shoulders lifted up, they're down and they're flat onto the floor, into the mat. Then bringing that leg down if you had it there, taking a breath in, pulling in the core. Same time, legs to centre, reaching the centre, central yourself and breathe out. Let's take that on the other side. So crossing the leg over if that's how you did it, breath in, breath out, legs over. Taking your gaze to your opposite hand, holding it there, shoulders both firmly on the mat. Relax into it. You can close your eyes even if you want to look internally. And then if you wish to take the top leg away and hold it into the opposite hand, you can take the leg away and stretch there for a further stretch. Excellent.
taking that leg down, taking a breath in, pulling in the core. At the same time we're coming to centre, centering ourselves, and then we're breathing out and we're letting everything go. We're going to do our final hug now, so we're taking a breath in and bringing our legs up. Again, if you've still not quite got the core strength to do it, take behind the legs, so breathing in, lifting the legs up, breathing out, and release. Breath in, breath out, and this time you can lift the head up and you can come into a full spine opening here. And then release, taking the legs down, taking them either long down the mat or flat, feet flat on the floor with your knees knocked in, whatever's happiest for you. Palms facing up, let's release our neck out one more time, rocking from side to side, gently with that head. Coming to centre, taking a breath in, pulling in the core, breathing out, chin to chest. Keeping the core tight, breathing in, core even tighter, breathing out, hold that core, take the head down as slow as you can, core still tight, and release, relax, excellent. Let's take a big deep breath in, so we're going to feel every part of our body, so breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and relax. Do it one more time, in your time, your breath. Final relaxation, guys. Take time now to appreciate what your body's just done for you, the workout that you've just achieved, and how you're feeling from now and from when you started this practice. Okay, so letting the feet drop out, relaxing those toes, relax the ankles, relax the calves, the knees and the thighs, the glutes, the pelvis and the lower core, heavy into the mat beneath, the mid-spine and the stomach, let it go. The upper spine and your chest, and your fingertips, let your fingers relax, your hands. Feel the hands heavy in the ground beneath, your wrists and your lower arms, your elbows and your upper arms, your shoulders, your neck and your head. Relax the mouth, the cheekbones, relax your eyes and your eyebrows, your forehead and the top of your head. Every part of your body is relaxed. Take a quick scan from the tips of the toes, over the legs, over your torso. Scan your arms and your shoulders and your head. And see if you've worked those areas that were asked to be worked at the beginning of the practice. And then concentrate on your breath, the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. If you haven't already got your eyes closed, try and close them. And then I want you to think your favourite colour. Visualise that colour with your third eye. And then take the colour to the tips of your toes. The colour rises and warms your legs. It warms your torso, warms your hands and your arms. The colour goes to your heart chakra and warms that heart chakra. Let it remain there and concentrate on it as you breathe. The colour and your breath. And let the colour go and just lay still. Bring ourselves back to the here and now. Start to bring some movement to your body, wriggling toes and fingers, maybe shaking legs, shaking arms. Do what you need to do to wake yourself up. Shimmy with the body, maybe a full body stretch. You choose what you wish to do. And then when you're ready, take yourself onto your side. Don't forget it's the left-hand side if you have low blood pressure. So bringing yourself over and make a pillow with your arm resting your head. And here I want you to take some really big deep breaths into your lungs. Really fill those lungs in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take the fresh air in through the lungs and letting the stale air go. One more time, big deep breath in. And breathing out. Fabulous. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves round to standing now. So gently opening your eyes very slowly to bring yourself back to now. And then pushing yourself up and taking yourself onto all fours. So you'll be in on your knees. I want you to curl your toes under and just push yourself back so that you're on your fingertips. Okay? Push with those fingertips so that you're up and you're on your toes now. Then taking your hands back and then push yourself up so that you're onto all fours of your feet. And then taking your hands away and hanging once again like a rag doll. We're going to come up slowly. The last thing that's going to be coming up is our head. We don't want head rushes. So bending the knees quite a lot, hands onto hips, pulling in that core, squeezing the glutes as you pull yourself up. As I said, the last thing that comes up is that head. Amazing. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a shake out here. Shake the arms, shake the legs, bringing our legs together, hip width apart, breath in. Breath out, and again, breath in, breath out. Last time, bring our feet together, breath in, hands together, breathing out, bring our hands down to our heart chakra, give ourselves a bow, and give ourselves a round of applause. Well done, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that.